The Canada's housing conversation is about to get uncomfortable. Let's discuss why. Canada's mortgage market is entering its most consequential chapter in decades, and the average household is nowhere near prepared. For years, ultra-low interest rates masked structural weaknesses in household finances, encouraging larger mortgages, thinner savings cushions, and a dangerous assumption that low borrowing costs were permanent. Now, that illusion has now collapsed. As rates reset higher and a historic wave of mortgage renewals approaches, the country is facing a quiet but profound financial stress test, one that will define affordability, consumer spending, and economic confidence. As you know, friends, I am Rajeev Talwar, in the business of mortgage brokering for over 2 decades. I have seen bubbles form and burst in my career. And if you care about your financial future and if you want to protect your family's wealth, please hit that subscribe button right now. Smash it, join this community. What we are building here is something of huge importance, and people who understand that money is not just about making it, it is about keeping it and growing it smartly. So subscribe now, become a member, and let's navigate the storm together. Do it now. Also, before we move further, you all know, friends, that the moment we reach 2,000 subscribers, your name will go in for a draw, and if you're subscribed, one winner gets $250 Costco gift card. Also, when we reach 10,000 subscribers, we have another draw, and again, if you're subscribed, one winner gets $2,000 cash, which would go towards your mortgage payment or rental payment. Now, both these promotions are published on our website. Just by subscribing, you get your name in for the draw. And friends, since you're watching my videos in thousands and thousands, just hitting the subscribe button may make you win. The names of the winners will be declared on this channel, and wishing you all the best for the same. Coming back to today's topic. Now, there is no longer a story about housing prices alone. It is a story about cash flow, survival, and the real cost of debt in a higher rate Canada. We have arrived at the renewal wall where cheap money expires. Millions of Canadian mortgages are set to renew over the next 2 years. Many of them originated during the lowest interest rate environment in modern history. Now, these borrowers did everything they were told was smart. They bought homes, locked in low rates, and trusted that gradual increases, if any, would be manageable. What they did not anticipate was the speed and scale of the reset. Now, for many Canadian households, mortgage payments are jumping not by hundreds but by thousands of dollars per month. Variable rate borrowers have already felt the squeeze. Fixed rate borrowers who believed they were insulated are now discovering that renewal shock can just be severe. The result is a sudden and relentless drain on disposable income, forcing families to confront uncomfortable trade-offs. Vacations are cancelled, retirement contributions are paused, lines of credits become lifelines rather than conveniences. Now, the mortgage has quietly become the single dominant expense shaping every financial decision. Now, this is the most critical and the least discussed question in Canada's mortgage debate. Where is the money going to come from? And friends, if you like my vibe and the content I produce, please like the video. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, wages have not kept pace with housing costs. Savings rates have been eroded by inflation. Household debt levels were already among the highest in the G7 before rates began rising. There is no hidden reserve of cash waiting to absorb higher mortgage payments. The money can only come from three places: 1. Cut spending, 2. Increase debt, or 3. Liquidate assets. Each option carries consequences. Reduced consumer spending slows the broader economy. Increased reliance on unsecured credit cards raises default risk. Asset sales, particularly investment properties, add pressure to housing supply and prices. None of these outcomes are neutral. Together, they form a feedback loop that weakens household balance sheets and amplifies economic vulnerability. Now, this is not a crisis driven by recklessness. It is one driven by pure arithmetic. Now, perhaps the most overlooked shift is psychological. Home ownership in Canada has been long associated with security and upward mobility. That narrative is changing. Today, many homeowners are experiencing something closer to financial anxiety, checking rate forecasts, recalculating budgets, and delaying life's decisions indefinitely. Renewals are no longer administrative events, they are moments of reckoning. The question no longer is, what rate did I get? But the question now is, can I afford my home long term? This shift has profound implications for buyer behavior, market liquidity, and future demand. First-time buyers are becoming more cautious. Move-up buyers are staying put. Investors are reevaluating leverage. Now, the market is not collapsing, but it is recalibrating slowly and unevenly as affordability becomes the dominant constraint. Now, banks are watching closely, and so is the economy. Canada's financial institutions are well capitalized, but they are not immune to household stress. Delinquencies remain low by historical standards, yet early warning signs are emerging. Extended amortizations, increased use of credit cards to cover fixed expenses, and rising demand for refinancing simply to manage cash flow. At the macro level, mortgages are no longer just a housing issue, they are a consumption issue. Every dollar redirected to interest payments is a dollar not spent in the economy. Retail, travel, automotive, and discretionary sectors all feel the impact. The mortgage market has quietly become one of the most powerful brakes on the economic momentum. So, the $1 million question now is, what happens next? Well, the most likely outcome is not a dramatic crash, but a prolonged period of financial pressure. A slow grind rather than a sudden break. Households will adapt, but adaptation comes at a cost. Delayed wealth building, higher stress, and reduced financial resilience. Policymakers face difficult choices. Rate cuts may eventually offer relief, but they will not restore the ultra-cheap borrowing era. Lenders will tighten risk assessments. Borrowers will need to plan with realism rather than optimism. The age of assuming the housing debt will work out itself is over. And at the bottom line, Canada is now entering a mortgage era defined not by price growth but by payment reality. The conversation is shifting from how much homes are worth to how much they cost to carry. For millions of households, the mortgage is no longer a background expense. It is the central force shaping financial lives. This moment will separate households who plan from those who react, and professionals who advise from those who simply transact. The renewal wave is not just a financial event, it is a national stress test, and the results will ripple through Canada's economy for years to come. And friends, should you feel you or someone you know is facing anything like this, being vigilant and staying prepared will always help out. Call back, friends, as you always do, and we can work out a plan that will help you keep afloat in this tough time. Thank you for watching this video in full. Stay blessed, keep warm, and see you in the next video with another topic very soon. Thank you very much.